Aubrey, do you often get asked about pronunciation scores by students?
Yes, this comes up
Yeah.
all the time. This is one of the easiest scores really to boost if you know
Yes.
what examiners are listening for. But often students really struggle because they might be thinking the only thing that matters is clear enunciation. And that's not the only thing that matters.
No, you can pronounce every phoneme or every sound perfectly correctly. But if you don't have interesting intonation and a natural rhythm, right? Stress to what you're saying. If you don't have those two things, you cannot get above a 6 for pronunciation. And if it's a really, really obvious monotone, if you say everything the same way the whole time, you could end up getting a 5 for pronunciation.
Yes, and how upsetting would that be to spend so much time making sure that
Mm.
you're saying sounds correctly, your word stress is correct, and then you use a monotone, and this just tanks your pronunciation score. We want to help you avoid that outcome.
Yes. So today we're going to give you 4 sample answers and really highlight how and why our intonation changes according to our feelings in those answers. We do a lot with helping students improve their pronunciation scores in our course. Um, Three Keys IELTS online now, just like our student Samira, who got an 8 on speaking. And I promise you, she could not get an 8 unless her pronunciation score was amazing.
No, exactly. Impossible. I was so excited when she posted this in Circle, right? She's one of our students in Three Keys IELTS. So excited to get amazing scores. She got an overall 8 and a speaking 8. So,
Amazing.
yeah, guys, sign up today if you need strategies, which we know you do. allearsenglish.com/keys, KEYS.
All right, let's get into today's episode now. Today's episode was inspired by a student, Hardik, who asked us, when I speak any language, my tone is the same, whether it's about something exciting or something sad. Can you help me overcome this problem? Yes, we can. So, the best way to improve this part, this intonation of your speaking, guys, is to listen and mimic, right? Listen to native speakers who are expressive and then mimic how they talk, really thinking about the feelings you are expressing. So that's what we're going to do today, guys. I encourage you to listen to our answers and pause the podcast and mimic how we are speaking today. Okay.
Yeah. And we definitely understand where you're coming from. As we're learning, the second, third languages, we feel ourselves thinking so much about the grammar and vocabulary that you stop thinking about, am I using a monotone, right? Am I being
Mm,
expressive? Am I showing emotion? That might be one of the first things to forget in the middle of the speaking exam
yeah,
when there are so many things to think about. You have
yeah,
to have practiced this ahead of time. Like Jessica
exactly.
said, you have to do a lot of mimicking. This has to be coming pretty naturally before you start your speaking exam on test day.
100%, 100%. So we are going to demonstrate both ends of this spectrum, the sad, disappointed end and the excited end of feeling. So, Aubrey, ask me the first question, please.
All right. What is your hometown famous for?
Well, I'm from Carson City, Nevada. And as you can tell from the tone of my voice, I'm not a super big fan of my hometown. I mean, I guess firstly, it's famous for just being the capital of Nevada. But I mean, Nevada itself is famous for more nefarious things overall, like, you know, casinos and legal gambling and prostitution and such. So, yeah, fortunately, that's my hometown.
Nice. I love we can hear the sadness and disappointment coming through your tone, right? Whether you use a monotone or whether you kind of sound excited when you're talking about something and saying you're sad and disappointed, both would be strange, right? You need that
Mm,
sadness to come through. Notice how her tone, she's going down on a
a
lot of
lot.
words. We can hear that in the emotion, in the tone she's using.
Yes, exactly. All right. Now I'm going to ask Aubrey a part 1 question. And guys, as you listen, please remember to pause and mimic. But also, as you're listening, I want you to think about what emotions we're hearing from Aubrey. All right. Do you miss your life in high school?
No, not at all. And I'm thrilled that that's my answer because that means my life is really good now, right? I feel like it would be sort of upsetting to think back and have your best years be in high school. Maybe you were super popular and it was amazing. And now things are tough. You're working a 9 to 5 and you wish you could go back. It's not the case for me, you know? So luckily, didn't have the best high school experience. My life's pretty great now. So I can say, no, I don't miss it.
That's so awesome. Yes, exactly. Guys, oof, don't peak in high school. I think
Right.
that's the big goal here. Yeah, guys, so you could hear like Aubrey is yes, excitement, but to get more specific about the feeling I hear in her tone, she's delighted. She is delighted to be answering this weird question. And you could actually use one of the phrases we taught you guys on Tuesday. Scroll up if you missed Tuesday's episode. It's the most recent one. Um, you could answer that and be like, "Funny you should ask." No, because like that would work here, right? So she's showing delight. She's showing like shock that anyone would actually answer yes, and she's excited that her answer is no.
And your answer could potentially be yes, and then maybe
Sure.
it would be sad if you're like, high school is the best,
Oh
and
my
now I have all these
god.
responsibilities, right? It just depends on like what are you saying your tone needs to match your answer.
Exactly. Exactly. All right, Aubrey. Ask me the next question, please. We have two more questions for you here today,
All
guys.
right, this is a part 3 question. Is there any advertising that can be harmful to children?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's actually really funny you ask that because I have a recent experience that directly relates to this. Yes, okay. Yes, it can be extremely harmful. I don't know if you've heard about this Mr. or Mrs. Examiner, but there are these things called geek bars. Okay, my son told me about this a couple days ago. Didn't know about it before. And, it's a vape, but it's like it has all these extra functions. It has like a touch screen and you could measure things. I don't even know what it's measuring, but it's like gamifying, the vaping. And I was in a 7-Eleven the other day and I saw a big advertisement for this, and it's not advertising to adults. Adults don't care about gamifying their whatever bad habits. Like, you could tell this advertisement, the way the colors were, the images, it was directed at teenagers. And I was gobsmacked.
Oh, man. Oh, and great vocab there at the end to be gobsmacked. I mean, like shocked, really surprised, but usually in a negative way.
Yeah.
This is interesting. If you listen to the tone here, it's like sad, disappointed, but also outrage,
Mm,
right? We're not always going to be speaking really quietly and reservedly when we're outraged about something that
yeah.
should be coming out in your tone, that you're upset about it.
You could hear, guys, like my voice got a little bit louder, right? My tone was highlighting my shock and outrage, right?
Yes.
All
So
right.
good. All right. Ask me a part 3 question.
Okay. Last question, guys. Remember, think about what emotions she's showing in her tone. All right, Aubrey, it's another part 3 here. What's the difference between films and books?
Oh man, they're both so great. Like a film, of course, you have all of the visuals, you get to see these beautiful actors, but when you're reading a book, you can use your imagination and envision that yourself. My daughter's actually reading this amazing book, Mrs. Frisbee and the Rats of Nim. And in order to get her interested in the book, we watched the old animated film, The Secret of Nim. And so it was interesting comparing the book and the film. Both just have such amazing benefits.
That was really good. Okay, good. Aubrey is utterly delighted that she gets to talk about this, right? So guys, the takeaway today is yes, you gotta practice before test day. You have to think about what feelings you're showing. You have to mimic native speakers that are using expressive tones and a variety of tones, not just happiness. You're not gonna be happy about every IELTS question. That would be weird. And as you could hear today, guys, there is a variety of emotions you can show in your tone. And yes, you have to do that to get a 7 or higher for pronunciation.
Yes, these answers are all perfect to do some mimicking. Listen to 10 seconds at a time and repeat it back. Record yourself, compare. Can you hear the emotion you should be showing? Is your tone changing? This is so vital for your pronunciation score.
Yes, and for a complete system of strategies, guys, that tells you exactly how to score highly in every category, check out our online course, Three Keys IELTS Lifetime Access, available now with feedback on your final exam, guys. Go to allearsenglish.com/KEYS.
Awesome, Jessica. So fun.
So fun. All right. Have a good day.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.